Guys, you know what? I think we should start a show. Think about it.
Like a podcast? What will we even talk about?
We are all content creators, we are all so talkative. I'm sure there's a lot to share about.
Wait, what would we even call ourselves?
I mean, we are all from Bloomer, so...
BloomrPulse. Because we're on the pulse of things.
Actually, I kind of like that.
I like the sound of that! BloomrPulse.
Okay, you know what guys? We can even start right now.
Let's go.
Why not?
Let's go.
Guys, be honest. Do I look like I've gained any weight?
Let me take a good look. No. Why?
Are you sure?
No.
Yes,
You
no,
look great.
absolutely.
I feel like I've put on weight. You know, with the festivities, you have Christmas, Chinese New Year, and then Valentine's Day. I feel like I've been eating a lot. It's been so unhealthy.
Oh my god, girls, same. You know, I just came back from a trip from
Japan.
Tokyo, Japan. Oh, I ate so much ramen there, tempura, or the Japanese white rice, full of sugar, full of carbs. I have so many like sodas, carbonated drinks. But you know, it makes me happy.
It does. I mean, do you feel like you've put on weight?
I think yes lah, but like for me, I mean, for traveling, I think you should not care. They say holiday fats are not considered fats,
Right,
you know,
right,
like you just enjoy. I mean, like you're traveling and you don't want to think about like exercising and stuff like that.
I
right?
know. And I know that a lot of viewers here must be feeling the same way as us. What with all the festivities lined up back after back, we must have all consumed a lot. So don't worry, babe, you're not alone, okay? And you definitely have not gained weight.
I feel like that's just been on my mind the past few weeks. So I actually brought in my friend today, Sam, and he's... And I was hoping he could reassure me about this. So, Sam, why don't you introduce yourself to my friends?
Okay, hi guys. My name is Samuel. I'm a physiotherapist as well as a personal trainer. I've been in the industry for about 4 years now. Thanks for having me. You can feel free to ask whatever you want to know.
Okay, so what is your body fat percentage?
Okay. So,
Hazel, you don't ask a guy that. The first time
no,
you
it's
meet
fine.
him.
It's fine. Like body fat percentage is not a big deal. Like at the current moment, I am about like 12. So this is my bulking phase. So I do have different phases. Sometimes I'm a bit heavier, I'm a bit lighter.
Right.
But I try to keep it within the bandwidth such that if I need to appear light for some shoot or whatever, I can just cut it within a month.
Shredded.
Wait,
Yeah.
12% is already very, very little, and this is your bulking phase.
Yeah. So it's a bit on the lower end for a bulk phase. Yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you. My name is Hazel, and I am a MediaCorp Chinese radio DJ at Yes 93, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jeevan. So I'm a content creator on TikTok, and I'm also a financial consultant by day. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you know me, I'm Elizabeth, I'm your friend, and I'm a content creator on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, so guys, let's be honest today.
Yeah.
What was the last most unhealthy food that we have eaten?
Wow.
Whoa.
It's like tricky, yeah, but
That's a very long list that you're asking for from me, Hazel.
Tell us.
I mean, there was the Chinese New Year. I had bakwa, I had pineapple tarts. I have that shrimp roll thing that I really
Right,
love. I
right.
just inhaled the whole bottle. Yeah, it's just endless. And then with Christmas, it was turkey, ham. And then Valentine's Day, I had omakase, which sounds healthy because it's like raw
Very
food.
small.
Right.
But it's a lot of rice, you know?
And a lot of
rice.
sauces.
A
that
lot
go
of
with
sauces.
it.
Yeah, so it was so unhealthy for me. Then how about you guys?
I think mine was McDonald's McFlurry ice cream. I don't know. I feel so guilty after eating that, but it's so good, right? How can you go wrong with Oreo McFlurry,
I know.
right?
I know.
I always get it
absolutely.
with extra Oreos.
You know, they by right supposed to charge you 50 cents, but I would purposely, okay, here's a hack. So I buy it without the extra topping. Then after I eat a bit, then I go to the guy and say, can I have more Oreo crumbs? And then he's like, okay.
What a life hack!
Right? Yeah, but because the Oreo crumb they give you is not enough.
I agree. I
Oh my
agree.
God.
No, some spots look like they have a lot of Oreo. Then you get to the bottom, and there are some spots with nothing at all.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so for me, it was a tempura meal that I had. The last meal I had in Japan before flying back, there was so much tempura, so much fried food, but it's all good. So I'm very curious to know, Samuel, what was the last most unhealthy food that you've had?
Wow, just actually yesterday. So it was truffle fries.
So you have cheat days. Is it?
For
or-
me? Oh, I don't do days. I
Okay.
like more like meals.
Okay.
Yeah, I think generally it's a bad idea to have cheat days.
Yeah.
Because a day is like 24 hours, right? So
Yeah.
in that day you can stuff in so many
Sweet
meals.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice
so
words.
I would generally go with like if you are meeting a friend you haven't seen in a while, it's a special occasion. Have a slice of cake, you will live. It's fine.
That's a good mentality. I do cheat decades.
Wow.
So it just never ends. Yeah, but you're a very healthy person. I mean, you work out all the time. Every time I see your Instagram, you're always working out, you're at the gym, or you're doing something healthy and sporty, and you live such an active lifestyle, which is quite opposite of mine.
So my next question excludes Samuel. Three of us, on the count of 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
the yes, no question. Do you think you are healthy? In 3, 2, 1.
No.
Yes. Okay, Jeevan, tell us why you said no.
Okay, so I mean, I've been trying to get back onto my whole fitness regime. So fitness is coming up, but my food that I'm taking, it's still quite unhealthy. So I'm a big snacker. So like I will eat chips and stuff like this, and wow, I'm a sucker for like biscuit, for pocky, and like when I'm doing work, I need to snack.
For me, I said a very soft no because I think I used to be very unfit and very unhealthy. But now it's come to the point where I've realized that I need to be more active. I need to be a bit healthier. So what I've been doing is I've been going for yoga classes, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And with diet-wise, I think I've been quite strict. So I've been intermittent fasting for the past 3-4 years. It started out during a circuit breaker.
Okay.
Because I was so bored at home. I was like, hey, I'm just going to do this as a challenge that I set for myself. And so I did 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. And that really helped me lose, I think, maybe 2 to 3 kg. And so now I just do it to maintain. But I'm not so strict with the hours. Sometimes it's a 14-hour fast. And I'm just
Right.
like, forget it, I'm a girl. Actually, girls are recommended to do, I think, 14 hours at the
Okay.
start instead of 16. But how about you? You said yes. You're the only one who said yes.
No, I feel like I'm a combination of both of them. Like I love snacking as well, but
Yeah.
everything in moderation. I feel like life is all about living, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't get to eat, what's the point of life? So
Right.
I do love to enjoy a good snack, but at the same time, like Elise, I'll try to make sure I work out.
Right.
So I actually have a personal trainer, and I go to the gym actually only once every week. 1 hour every week, but I feel like that's enough. And in my free time, if I can, I walk to places and I take the stairs instead of the escalator. So this is why I think I'm a yes. At least I try to be healthy. So
I like how we're all doing our part to try and prevent, problems in the future. We're doing our best right now to live an active lifestyle because prior to this, I think, we were talking about how we used to be a little bit unhealthy and all that, So, but I mean, if you guys are watching this, if you have any comments about health issues or problems that you've been facing, just let us know. We would be happy to read it out and to talk about it.
right. Oh, I see one question. Someone says, I'm scared to go for body checkups. The process is so scary. Okay, so
I
quick
fully
question
agree.
here. Have you guys been to a regular health screening or full body checkup?
No.
No?
No,
No?
actually no.
Samuel, no?
Yeah, it's coming up soon, within the next year, but
Okay.
I haven't gone for it yet.
Right.
You've never.
No.
Oh,
not
I'm
yet.
so surprised to hear that from like a physiotherapist and a personal trainer. For me, the answer is yes, but it's only in the past 2 months. For the
Right.
first time in my life, I actually went for a full body health screening under the encouragement of a very good friend. And I'm glad I did. It just sets my mind at ease. But I totally understand why this friend commented the process is so scary.
Can you
Because-
run us through the process?
Well, if I am not wrong, okay, first of all, they take your pee samples,
Yeah.
your stool samples, and of course your blood samples as well. So why this person says the process is so scary, probably is because of needles, right? They have to insert a needle into
Right.
you to draw out the blood, right?
Right.
And I've also gone for a pap smear.
Okay.
That is so important.
Yeah. So I think I know I haven't gone for a full body checkup, but what I did do was go for a checkup, for the downstairs area.
Right.
So I did a pap smear and everything. And I think from what I recall, if I'm recalling correctly, the government actually has an initiative. If you're below 30 or 25, if you go
Yeah.
for a pap smear, the government actually funds most of the cost, and it only costs you $5 to get a pap smear, which I think is very important for ladies out there. If you are watching this, go get a pap smear.
Right.
It is very
I
important.
think the age is 26, if I'm not wrong.
I have no
if
clue.
I'm not wrong, but
yeah.
well, I passed that age, so
Yeah.
I'm just paying for it.
I
but-
think someone even commented does pre-employment and preschool checkups count as full body checkups? I think yes, right? Before you go to poly or JC or uni, their school will tell you to go for
X-ray,
X-ray. I think that also
ah?
counts. Yeah,
I
X-ray,
don't think
is
I've
it?
ever gone for an X-ray for school.
X-ray or the ECG scan or army confirm they would send
Okay.
you for a pre-army checkup.
Yeah.
So I think the guys would definitely have gone for some medical checkup, but ever since army, I have not gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the difference is that if you pay for it yourself, you can choose for a more comprehensive
Right.
package and to check like more things. But I'm curious, Samuel, how come you haven't gone for a full body checkup?
Yeah, so actually I also went for the NS one.
Yeah.
But then in terms of like the full one that I paid for myself, I've not gone about that.
Okay.
I think for me, a lot more of it is like I have an internal assurance that I've taken care of myself.
Okay.
And like ask myself like, if I do find something in my scans, right,
Yeah.
would I do something drastically different? Actually, not really.
But what is the recommended amount of time to wait in between appointments for health checkups? Is it once a year? Is it once every 2-3 years?
Most of my friends do it once per year, and I
Right.
think that is the recommended schedule as well. So just fix a regular schedule with your doctor, maybe the end of every year. Well,
Yeah.
what I've heard is they say try not to go for a full body checkup right after Chinese New Year because
Oh.
that's the period when you snack the most, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
Right.
your results may not be the most
Accurate, yeah.
So
Right.
go for it on a regular month where your diet is most consistent to your lifestyle and your habits.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. So once a year for a full body checkup. You know how they say you like go to the dentist once every 6 months,
Right.
And, your therapist as well. You might not have any huge trauma or baggage to work through, but it's still good. Like so going to the dentist, go see your therapist once every 6 months to check in and see how things are going.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons why I decided to go for a full body health checkup was also because I saw some statistics.
Right.
You have to hear about this, okay? It's a quite worrying trend. There was a 50% spike in the number of people with high blood pressure in just 2 years, going up from 24.2% in 2017 to 35.5% during the 8-month survey period that ended in March last year. And Singapore has launched this 5-year war against diabetes, but despite that, our diabetes prevalence rate still went up from 8.8% to 9.5%.
Wow.
So does this mean that Singaporeans have been consuming more sugar,
Yeah.
perhaps in the circuit breaker phase?
I don't think this is a Singapore problem. I think
Yeah.
this is a
Worldwide
worldwide
thing.
problem. Everyone has just been consuming too much sugar, too much,
Salty
oil,
food.
salt,
Yeah.
just overindulgence on a lot of things because it's. I think a lot of people have been talking about this online as well. Healthy food is so expensive.
Yeah.
As compared to like fast food, unhealthy food, they are so much cheaper, they're so much easier to get.
Yeah.
So it's very, convenient for us, and it's very easy for us to overindulge without even realizing it.
Right.
So just to clarify, Hazel, like this statistics is like Singapore, right?
Yeah, this is based in Singapore. Of course, I do feel like it's a worldwide trend as well.
Yeah.
But our government has been doing all they can to keep our Singapore numbers as low as possible when it comes to this kind of like diabetes and stuff.
So actually, right, 50% is like a huge number. I mean, I may not be right on this, but my postulation is that like if you look at the lifestyle of people in the past few years, right, it's like lockdown.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, so this is the drastic change that's happened to all of us. Like instead of like commuting to work, coming back from work, going for group classes,
Yeah.
going to gym, right? People are suddenly staying at home. So
Yeah.
I'm
Work
not
from
really
home.
correct.
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised. Do I think that this is going to be sustained for the next few years? Maybe not. I mean, it could be an anomaly because of the sudden change in lifestyle. Like I'm pretty sure you have friends whose lifestyles just changed like overnight. Like
Yeah.
they used to be so active, and then suddenly at home they would just not leave house. They would call
Yeah.
Grab food.
Yeah.
They will not even buy
Sorry,
food. So like
that's me.
I mean, it's fine. It's like an emergency, right? So it's a very rare situation.
But it's so easy to get lazy. I mean, recently there's been all the festivities, Chinese New Year and everything. But I think what really got me feeling very lazy was the weather.
Oh,
It's been so
raining.
nice and
Oh, it's
cold. You
nice.
just
Oh my
want to
God.
stay home. But I mean, like what you said, there are a lot of things we can do. But what are some things that we can do to get a more active or healthy lifestyle?
yeah, share with us.
You mean like in the context of current situation
Yeah,
now,
like right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it depends on the personality, right? Some people do better on their own. Some people do better in a group setting.
Right.
Like for myself, I love to work on my own because I don't like the distraction of like people around talking to me, etc. But if you are someone you're not disciplined, I would say like step 1, like either get a trainer.
Yeah.
Step 2, get friends who you can actually trust to work out with you.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends who try to start a fitness regime with their other friends, but they're all equally unmotivated.
Hey, that's
And then so pro tip, if you are going to like find friends to work out with you, try to go to some sort of like an exercise setting for friends. Like try not to use the friends with a similar lifestyle background as you.
I find what really worked for me to motivate myself into going for exercise or whatever is joining the yoga class. So if I were at home and if I were to start some YouTube video for yoga, I would get so tired and bored. I would just like hit pause. Okay, let's go get that pocky right now. But if I go for class, the teachers are there there to hold me accountable.
Right.
I've been for one class where the teacher was so fierce. It felt like I was in BMT. I've never been to BMT, but it felt like if I had gone for it, it would have been like that. She was shouting at me halfway through. I was waiting for water parade. It was insane. She was so crazy. She was so fierce. But it was a very, very good workout. After that, I had runner's high.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Right. But I also understand that, Jeevan, you lost a lot of weight over the past few years. Did you?
Yeah, I did. So I mean, I grew up like a bit of a plum kid. So I mean, at some point, it's not baby fat anymore. It's actual fat, you know. So I think I was at that stage where there was a lot of comparison with my friends, and we had this like NAPHA test. Wow, I hated NAPHA tests. Yeah, it just makes you feel so shitty that you're a failure and your friends and all managed to get silver or gold. Right. So I guess that was kind of my motivation to kind of like, okay, I need to do something. Like, so that's when I started to cut down a bit of my sugar, and I would also just run. I'll just go running. And I think I took it to the point of like a bit of an extreme where then I didn't eat at all. Yeah, so I mean, it got to a bit of an unhealthy point, but I think I definitely sought help to kind of like help me get through that. And then now I'm at actually I'm happy. It's like a state where you're not overweight, your BMI is in a acceptable range, which is a good guide, right? Like BMI indicators are a very good gauge of like your overall health. So I don't know, maybe you can share a bit more about the BMI.
I will say that for a start, BMI is a rough guide,
right?
But more accurate would be fat percentage.
Okay.
Yeah, fat percentage, visceral fat.
Yeah.
But definitely it's more challenging because not everyone has access to like a Tanita scanner. Like we can scan your body impedance, right? But another way you can do is fat caliper. So you can actually like get those clippy things, and then there's like you can go around like pinching the fat areas, and then there's a formula, and then you can figure out fat percentage.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would say BMI is a good start because it's just weight and mass, right? I mean weight and height.
So actually, I did the machine, and I checked my body fat is about 15%. So is that like a good range?
Yeah, I think for guys, generally it's okay. That's generally like average health. I mean, if you're looking to be more aesthetic, then definitely something like 12 below-ish.
Okay.
But 15 is actually fine.
Sorry, I'm just going back to Jeevan because I'm just thinking about his story, where you said you lost weight and everything, the entire journey. Would you say that revelation that came to you where you decided, hey, I'm going to lose weight, did it come overnight or was it gradual?
I think it was more of like a gradual thing because you look yourself in the mirror and you say, okay, you don't like what you look. So what are you going to do about it? Like, and then I think I finally had that motivation during the June holidays. Back then, I was Sec 3, I was entering June holidays, 1 month of free, right? So that's when I tell my mom, can you sign me up for this fitness gym?
So cute!
I was like, I was 15, 16, and Mom, can you sign me up? I use my pocket money, my ang pao, then I pay for it,
But it's not cheap, right?
It's not. So it was actually very expensive for me as a kid, but I got the student rate lah. So I paid about like maybe $90 a month, and then I started going for all those classes like the yoga, Pilates,
or something like that.
Yeah, dance class also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's the thing. If you pay money for it, you're actually more inclined to
for sure.
attend the
Right.
classes.
And you do your best for the class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you wouldn't really consider that a health scare. It was more like a reality check,
Correct.
and more of like, oh, okay, there's something I can do. It's not too late for me to work on this.
Sweet.
Okay, so like of course exercise is important, diet is important. Diet is important as well. So someone comments, how do we make sure we are eating the right stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the right answer to this, but I remember this song, quarter, quarter, half, half, quarter, half. Is that how we can make sure we are having a balanced diet? So a quarter carbs, a quarter protein, and half vegetables or like fruits. Am I right?
Like generically, yes, you may be hitting a quarter, half, but what if like say your half protein is like a fried chicken?
Oh.
Yeah. What if your half is like some luncheon meat thing, right? So it's more of like the quality rather than the quantity.
Yeah.
I would say that dietary advice is complex. Okay, so disclaimer first, right? So I am coming from a perspective as a personal trainer. This is not medical advice.
Yeah.
If you do have medical problems, do ask your doctor or dietitian like how to like go about your diet planning. But I have to summarize my 3 main tips I give to my clients just to start on eating healthy. First things to avoid fried and processed foods.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
do that.
Yeah, so it's like they're the most delicious, but they're also the things that are really most damaging for you.
Yeah.
People are worried that like I put on weight, but it's not just calories. It's also like what is the influence of the food on your body system. If you eat a lot of inflammatory and very like heavily processed or fried food, it can cause a lot of things like joint problems, muscle aches, degenerative changes, not only in your body but also in your brain. But don't be too afraid. You can have some, but you want to look like on a weekly basis, right? What are you eating on a regular?
Right.
And if there's a lot of fried and processed on regular, it's a good time to think about how to like change it out.
Yeah.
I think that's quite unrealistic for example, for me. For me to completely cut off like the pink meats or, like all the other stuff that I really enjoy, like fatty, fried food.
Yeah.
That's really hard for me to do it. And I'm sure you guys would find it hard too. So I think a more realistic approach would be, for example, I love bubble tea. And I get bubble tea like maybe 3-4 times a week. But the compromise I made with myself is that every time I get bubble tea, I get it plain tea with 0% sugar.
Okay.
And then I'm allowed to get like the toppings that I like. So to me, that is a healthier alternative because one, there's no milk in there, be it milk powder or fresh milk, and number two, there's 0 sugar,
Right.
or stuff like when I go for a hot pot, I always ask for less oil, less salt. So these are the healthier compromises that I make to enjoy the food that I like, which I think is easier for like other people to follow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I think like Liz makes a great point. Like what I mentioned just now is like the golden standard.
Right.
I mean, at least the initial golden standard.
Yeah.
But there should be like exceptions. Like example, if like your friend is having a birthday, like special occasions you haven't met a friend in a while, you just like got promoted, something happened. Like, if it's a special occasion, yeah, sure, have these things.
Yeah.
And it's good that you have like what you said, like special like conditions, like how to make your food that is unhealthy slightly less healthy. Like all these little efforts really add up. Yeah. So for viewers out there, like don't like restrict yourself too much. Try to make a consistent effort, but allow yourself little windows to make exceptions. It's fine. Like just now you mentioned like we are here to live life and to enjoy it.
Correct.
So yeah, just do that.
So what I've always felt is it's okay to eat, but as long as you work out, I think it's fine. Does it work that way?
To an extent. So
Okay.
definitely someone who's more active has a little more leeway to eat a little more junk, but also it's not a good mentality to think that okay, because I am working out, I can eat more junk. I will say that regardless of whether you're very active or not so active, generally working towards a healthier diet over time really does help in terms of long-term health.
Okay.
And then the last thing is like, wait, please. Okay, yeah. So
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just move on. So this is what Singaporeans think. In a study that was done, 7 out of 10 Singaporean respondents said that they wish they had more time to exercise. More than 60% of them admitted that they do not have the discipline to exercise regularly. So 2 factors. Time and discipline. So we want to eat, right? But we also have to work out.
Yeah.
But how? No time, no discipline. So what can we do to like fix this?
Actually,
I think it
this
applies
is
for me as well.
Yeah, this is a problem that a lot of my friends have spoken to me about. So when I started yoga, because I used to be so unfit, so unhealthy. When I started yoga, a lot of my friends came to me. They're like, "Wow, why are you working out so much now? Like, how much is your yoga class? Like, you have the time to go. Aren't you very busy?" And then, to me, I feel like cost shouldn't be a factor, that big of a factor here, because to me, it's short term. I'm spending this much, maybe like $300-$400 a month on yoga classes. But in the long term, if I get healthier, when I'm older, I won't have to, see the doctor as much, spend as much money on like checkups or treatments and all that. So for me, it's a worthwhile trade. And this is what I tell my friends as well. It's if it's money you're not willing to spend now, in future you probably will be spending a lot more money trying to fix these problems that you're creating for yourself right now.
Correct, I get it,
Right.
but I know that not many people are able to afford this amount of money. For example, $300-$400 a month on like yoga classes. Totally get it. So what I would recommend is go for a personal training, like with a personal trainer, learn the ropes, and then
You
go and
do
hit your like
yourself.
condo gym or like sign up for a gym session. They have very low membership rates, right, every month, and then
And
just exercise on your own.
fitness corners.
Oh,
Fitness
fitness
corner.
corners.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fitness
It's
corner. Free.
understated. Yeah,
Yes,
like
yes,
sometimes
yes.
even a gym membership can be kind of expensive.
Yes.
Like I think you mentioned yourself. Like when I was younger, I didn't have much money for a gym membership. I actually worked out for easily 5 to 6 years in the fitness corner, and I got decently fit. So it's free.
Yeah, cool.
So someone on the comment section actually said, okay, after a long day of work, I love to laze on my sofa and swipe TikTok for hours before showering and sleeping.
Sounds
Something I'm also
familiar.
guilty of.
Yeah.
My work requires me to sit down and stare at a computer screen for long hours. What should I do? I don't have time to hit the gym. What should I do? Excuse me, you have time to scroll TikTok before you shower, but you have no time to hit the gym?
Guys, have you heard of this thing called the tech neck? Tech as in technology, neck as in your neck.
Yeah.
TECH and ECK.
This is when you get a very stiff neck because this is more common in people with office jobs, right? Because you're seated at a table all day and you have to type on your computer. So you tend to have very bad posture. You look down and that's when the neck gets stiff. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah,
So
I think
if
so.
I'm not wrong, the more you look down at your devices, the more your neck muscles at the back, they have to constrain to support your head. So if this happens in the long term, I think it causes a lot of problems, not only to your neck but to your spine as well. Am I right?
Yeah, so like you call it tech neck, so we also call it forward head posture. Like when I do physiotherapy, like forward head posture is a huge thing. Like
What is that? Forehead posture.
forward head.
Forward.
Oh,
head
I thought
posture.
you meant
like the
my
head
forehead must
forward.
be...
Oh, the head forward.
Forward head
Oh,
posture, correct.
okay.
So that's more so at the desktop when you're like, sometimes clients or like patients cannot see the screen clearly and then they move forward.
Right.
Sometimes they have no arm rest, sometimes they have no neck rest, they have no back rest, so they tend to move forward.
Right.
Yeah, so, okay. So, one thing to really think about is like ergonomics. Yeah, ergonomics is a huge deal. I would say like if you are unsure what to do, just Google like proper ergonomics and follow to a T when possible. Yeah. Next thing is work rest cycling. If you're going to be seated for a very, very long period of time, make sure that you take little breaks. The breaks can be very simple. You literally stand up once, reach the ceiling, and like roll shoulders, twist a little bit, and sit back down. It makes a lot of difference. So this is all like physical hygiene. Just make sure that you try to have some sort of a physical hygiene, good ergonomics, and actually things like tech neck and forehead posture actually can be largely resolved.
Okay, so to all our viewers out there who has the same issue as this friend who commented, if you have no time to hit the gym, at least, have a good chair.
Yeah.
Some tables can be adjusted, the height, so you can stand up and do your work as well. And maybe cut down 1 hour on TikTok lah. And just do some exercises. I like to follow some YouTube tutorials, like 10 minutes abs exercise.
Yes.
I mean, 10 minutes is not a long time, right? You
Yeah.
just lie down, get the abs exercise done, and
That's
get
right.
over and done with.
Or honestly, I mean, if you already have like these ab exercises in mind, you know what to do. You don't need a YouTube tutorial to teach you.
Yeah.
Do it while scrolling TikTok.
Yeah.
There you
What
go.
a brilliant idea!
And after that, you go shower because you've just perspired. Isn't it amazing? Everything lines up.
Yeah.
true.
But then discipline really comes into play.
Yeah.
Just have to make sure you're motivated.
I fully agree. I feel like it's not that you don't have enough time. It's just you don't have enough discipline,
Correct.
which is something I'm very guilty of. I like to procrastinate. I get very, very lazy, and I always say, I have no time.
Yeah.
But I do have the time. I just have to make the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the difficult thing is like when you phrase it as discipline, I think the thing you can try is habit creation.
Yeah.
So sometimes humans are creatures of habit, right? So if their habit is to sit on the chair and to scroll TikTok, they would do that all the time.
Yeah.
21-day rule, if you force yourself to do something for 21 days, it becomes more likely because of habit. So
Wow.
instead of like scrolling TikTok, you like tell yourself, okay, like in my schedule, my phone, I set like Wednesday, Friday, maybe Sunday, I'm going to do so activity, and you put your calendar, alarms goes, you just go. And then over time it becomes habit. And then when you don't do it, you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm not doing something right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so discipline is the most challenging, but tell yourself that it's only 21 days.
Okay.
And once you get habit, it's automatic.
I feel that really works. Creating a calendar schedule, telling yourself, okay, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have to go work out, and no matter what, you make that happen.
Right.
Do you have a routine that you stick to?
I think for me it's a little flexible because I'm in the space where my work is not like set hours. So I think that makes it even more challenging to kind of integrate workouts into. So sometimes I find myself even gymming at 12 midnight because like I want to get workout in, but I'm more of a night owl. So I mean, to all the night owls out there, I mean, I see y'all at Anytime Fitness also at like 12 midnight too,
Right.
So I don't really have a fixed schedule per se, but more of like in that week I will try to like allocate timings where I'll go for yoga or go for like gym. Yeah.
Right. Oh, so based on what you said just now, someone actually commented, how do people achieve a work-life balance? I can't seem to relax after work.
Right.
So it's like you're working, in flexible timing. So
Yes.
all the time your mind is engaged. So
Yeah.
how do you achieve that kind of like work-life balance?
I think for me, I travel. Yeah, because like I like to do like sprints, and then so you can either take your job as like a marathon or like a sprint, right? Sprint you chiong, and then later you go enjoy. Then you repeat chiong, enjoy. So for me, I love to travel. So I every quarter I'll be traveling somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one way to really just cut off and just to, prioritize my mental health as well, and to kind of like work-life balance, I feel. Yeah.
Sam, is that good for mental health? Like sprinting, then you relax. Then you come back to sprinting and you relax. Or,
Or
they say
marathon.
life is not a sprint, it's a
Yeah,
marathon.
yeah.
You should be consistent in terms of your habits. What do you think?
I would say like it differs from person to person,
Yeah.
but generally humans are like cyclical creatures.
Okay.
So what Jeevan is doing actually is pretty good, where he has
Yeah.
like periods of intense work,
Yeah.
followed by periods of intense rest.
Yes.
I think that most people will find that more sustainable. Like right before this, actually I went to see a client,
Okay.
and like she's having the worst neck pains.
Oh.
And why is she having the worst neck pains? Because she's been working consistently to 2-3 in the morning, 2-3 in the morning, 2-3 in the morning,
Yeah.
at a job that's very, very intense. And she's been doing for many, many years, and she's like self-proclaimed fine. But you know, there comes a point where your body can't deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
Like your body needs to rest, it needs to recharge.
Right.
Maybe like in the short term where you're rushing for something really important, like a massive assignment, and you know that it's just a one-off thing and you need to achieve this and get it done. Fine, short-term stress, okay. But if you foresee that, like, you know, in terms of long-term mental health, like if you foresee that like it's going to be a recurring thing, like every like few months it's going to be a massive project, it's going to be up
Yeah.
to 3 in the morning, 3 to 3 in the morning, and you feel that your body is not coping, and like from month to month it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's really time to listen to the body. I think
Yeah.
like the biggest takeaway for mental health is like people need to listen to the body.
Yeah.
The body, people sometimes, you know, have a breakdown and they go to like the mental health breaks down, or like they have a physical breakdown, like terrible neck pain, terrible back
Yeah.
pain, you know. But these things, if you really ask yourself, they don't come out of nowhere. You know, a lot of these things, there's warning signs. Your body's like really fatigued, eyes are getting really tired, you know, things are getting sore and there, here and there. But the question is like, do you listen to it? If
Yeah.
you don't listen to it, you
Yeah.
ignore it, and when it goes like full-blown explosions and fire, right?
Yeah.
Then like you shouldn't be surprised because you haven't been listening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the consequences of burnout can be really severe. And how do you guys work on your mental health?
Right. You know, someone once told me this thing. You feel like you're not stressed,
Yeah.
but doesn't mean that your body is not stressed. So what happens in your mind and in your body are two different things.
Yeah.
So for example, I never feel that I'm stressed. I always feel like I'm a very happy-go-lucky kind of
Yeah.
girl. But a lot of my friends actually come up to me and tell me, you know, I feel like you're very stressed. I get very tired just by looking at you work.
Oh, wow.
And no, really. So I think this is a sign that I have to listen to them and listen to my own body as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I try to hit 7 hours of rest every night.
Nice.
It's tough, but with discipline or habit creation,
Yeah.
I believe that it can be done.
Okay.
You know, I think sleep is really very underrated, especially among the younger people.
Yeah.
I think it's the elixir of life.
Yeah.
If I sleep well, I find that my next day, everything is so clear and crisp to me. And I can just execute my plans perfectly.
So, people who are watching this, what can they do? You know, simple steps. Let's do it with realistic, simple steps that everyone can
Yeah.
follow. What are some
Yeah.
steps that they can do other than achieving 7 hours of sleep, like you said? I think maybe 7, 8, 9 hours would be good.
9 hours, a bit of a luxury
Yeah,
for
I like
Singaporeans.
seven.
ah.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Is 7 good? 6 to 8, right? they
General
say?
guidelines 7 to 9.
7 to 9.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
damn.
generally, if you're a bit younger, you actually need a bit more.
More.
So it's very ironic. People who are sleeping the least are
Yeah.
actually the younger population, but they
Okay.
need actually more sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like talk about like habit creation, right? Like what can we do? I think like the first thing you can do is to check in with yourself regularly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are very detached from like their own bodies. Like they just tell themselves, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then they do it, but they ignore their body signals.
Yeah.
Right.
So check in with yourself. You know, like every day, every month, like is my current lifestyle or my current habits going to be good for me in the next year?
That's right. It has to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't just have to be efficient right now. It has to be sustainable. Because if you sprint as hard as you can for like this 3 months, and if you get burnout, then the rest of the year is useless.
Yeah.
You'll just be suffering, and then the fruits of the 3 months are just useless.
Yeah.
So I think what you said. So 7 hours of sleep. You know, check in. Like I said earlier on. See a therapist once every 6 months.
Right.
You never know what you have to work on, and that's what the
Yeah.
therapist is there for. You know, see a therapist, do a mental health check, make sure that you are doing good physically
Yeah.
and mentally.
Yeah.
But what are other things that you can do?
I think like I would say disconnecting, because now we're in a world where we're so connected, right? Sometimes we feel so overwhelmed, like every notification, everything, you know, our attention goes there. So what I do, and I actually like airplane mode my phone, so I completely cannot get anything, you know. So this is where I really just like disconnect for a period of time, because I feel like that in doing that helps my mental health, because I'm not at every message, I don't give my attention there, you know.
Wait, how often do you do this?
I do this like practically in the evenings. Evenings are my quiet times, you know. So I would just like
see.
mute my phone. I
That's
don't
why
like
I called
call.
you last night. You didn't pick up.
Yeah, sorry, girl.
Oh.
I was in my quiet time.
No,
I do that every night actually.
Yeah.
I turn off my mobile data and my
Yeah.
Wi-Fi every night when I sleep because I prioritize my sleep so much. I
Yes.
need my 7 hours of undisturbed rest.
Yes.
So
Airplane
this is
mode.
what I do. Airplane
Yeah,
mode. So
airplane
this
mode.
is something that all of us can consider as well.
Yeah.
And I think, we mentioned earlier on about how sometimes we have cheat days, we let ourselves loose a little bit. Someone has a promotion, someone has a birthday or something like that. But I think a lot of people also overindulge in
Right.
these moments. For example, I have a lot of friends who like binge drinking. When they go out for a night out, they really drink and they really party hard. And then the next day or like the next week, they suffer the consequences of
Yeah.
that. For example, I went clubbing last Saturday, and that was the first time in a few months that I'd gone, wow, I spent the whole of the next day just in the toilet having a headache, and I had a staycay that very day. So I was in MBS just in the toilet on the bed. It was completely wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like binge drinking or even smoking or vaping, even though a lot of Singaporeans know that it's illegal, a lot of you guys still do it. So stuff
Yeah.
like vaping, drinking, binge drinking, vaping, smoking, binge drinking. What else are there? There are so many bad habits that we need to
Yeah.
kick.
Correct. I feel like we really need to be conscious of what we are doing or putting in our bodies.
That's right.
And I just want to bring back the emphasis on preventive. I just want to bring back the emphasis on preventive care.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, a lot of viewers here, they are very afraid to go for full body checkups.
Yeah.
I hope that after this little session with us,
Yeah.
it can change your minds a little
That's
bit.
right.
If Hazel can do it, so can you.
Yes, so can you. If after 28 years I can do it, so can you. Now, I feel like there is a fair coming up that might be very useful for our viewers out
Yeah.
there. Is the Let's Talk About Health Fair. Have you guys heard of it?
No way.
No, I haven't. Please tell us
Yeah.
more.
Right, okay, so there's this fair that happens at Suntec City Atrium. So there's this fair happening at Suntec City Convention Centre on the 4th and 5th of March. The hours are very long, so you can just pick a conducive or like a convenient time for you to head down there. 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
And it's free?
Yes, what our Singaporeans love. Admission is completely free, so feel free to head down there and just take a look and understand how to care for your mental health and your physical health a bit better. Sam, will you be there?
All go
It's
together.
the first
First
time
time
I'm hearing of it
hearing
actually, but now that you said it, I probably hit down. Take a
Yeah.
look.
Right. Take a look. I'm sure it will do more
Yeah.
good.
We can all go together. How about that? How about we all go for yoga before that, and then we go for this?
Ooh.
Correct. Then
Sounds
after
like
that,
an
we go
ideal.
for dinner.
Where?
And we will not overindulge.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, with that, we hope we can encourage you to
Yeah.
take care of your health a bit better, starting with health screening, participation,
Yeah.
and taking like small, consistent steps in
Yeah.
your daily life. All right?
And you know what? We want to involve you guys in this conversation as well. It feels a bit lonely if it's just four of us.
Yeah.
So you know what? We do have some hashtags as well, and the hashtags are.
BloomrPulse, BLOOMRPULSE, as well as Get Healthy SG. So whatever conversations that happen on social media, be it like stories or on your feed, please feel free to use these hashtags so we can also see what you're talking about.
So thank you so much for joining us on BloomrPulse, and of course, thank you, Sam, for being a part of this.
Thank you. I feel like I've learned so much from your sharings. It's so insightful.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. Like, really, it's been a pleasure, and I genuinely am inspired by all of you because you guys really try. I mean, like, you guys have all your backstories, like myself, and then I can see there's like conscientious effort, like, to go get better. And I think that's what it is at the end of the day, right? It's really small steps.
Yeah.
Taking small steps to be better than the person you were the day before, and over time, you'll be surprised, like, years down the road, you get there.
Yeah.
Correct. So we hope that Sam's sharing as well as our stories will inspire you to be a
Live
bit healthier.
healthier.
Yes,
Yes.
baby steps is all that counts. So thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.